British people be like, I'm British. We just say the T in a very high pitch that Americans cannot hear. After the incident in Boston, we always hide our T's. I've been caught up in the riptide for too long, cause it's all I know. I've been letting this shit slide, but if you love me, let me go. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be looking at r/HistoryMemes, a subreddit dedicated to memes that if you don't understand, then your education system has failed you. Let's take a look, shall we? White boomers saying how life was better in the 60s. Black boomers. Yeah, well, you know, the 60s was a big revolution for a lot of people, mainly colored people, in improving what life was. A fight that is still going on today. Don't forget, it's still going on today. It's not over. When you see a history meme about the creation of Israel with 0 upvotes and 27 comments, into the comments section we go. I wonder what post they're talking about. America sure is having some bad luck. It's almost like it was built on an ancient Indian burial ground. The entire country, in fact. It's funny that, isn't it? It's a little bit funny that. It could be. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is. Art history, history of science, military history, economic history, r/history memes. Yeah, there's a big focus on mainly military history in this subreddit. I've tried to get a bit of a variety in this video, but we shall see, won't we? France and British Empire, slaves are black. Ottoman Empire, slaves are white. Nazi Germany, everyone who is an Aryan is a slave. Roman Empire, slaves are slaves. Romans were just like, yo, look, if you aren't Roman, you're a slave. How does the British Museum have so many incredible artifacts compared to other museums? The secret ingredient is crime. Pretty much. Africa has thousands of different cultures with tribes varying in size. Europeans drawing the borders. Rectangles! England is pretty bad with this kind of stuff, aren't we? I mean, we conquered most of the planet, and now nowhere is owned by England anymore. Everywhere celebrates being independent, and now England's like, hey, but we're no longer European.
So there's this really small island.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 different cultures on it.
Okay.
And they all hate each other. And the weather is terrible.
Gotcha.
And now they're going to conquer a quarter of the world.
I'm sorry, what? Welcome to the United Kingdom. If Reddit existed in 1919, what kind of questions would be asked here? Help me decide if I should go to art school or get into politics. Art school. Definitely art school. I don't know, but wait, it was trying to get in art school and failing that led to politics. Oh no, what a conundrum. Habsburgs keep the bloodline pure through incest. They're kids. Oh no. Oh dear. 17-year-olds in 1945 thinking that they won't have to go to war. The same guy 5 years later in Korea. That's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate. English students studying the entirety of their country's history. Are we the baddies? You know, part of me thinks that maybe, just maybe, we really are. I mean, we're not the worst of the baddies, but we were definitely one of the baddies. When you're a teacher in 1950 and see a student picking up the pen with the left hand. Hi kid, do you like violence? So here's a little snippet of information about me, a little bit of Blue the Nerd trivia. I'm actually left-handed, as is my younger sister. We're actually like the first people in the family to be left-handed. We're kind of freaks in that regards. Independence from Britain is celebrated somewhere in the world, on average, 1 in every 7 days. Yeah. So we conquered a lot of places and they all went independent, and now everywhere celebrates no longer being conquered by Britain. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Nostalgic person. I wish we could go back to the good old days. Literally every historian. I'm sorry, what? What good old days are you talking about there, buddy? Economic crisis, plagues and diseases, racism, or perhaps just not having an average life expectancy of over 30 years? These all sound like great good old days. Angela Merkel has just been called the worst chancellor in history. I can guarantee there's at least one worse guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but there's one guy on my mind that might just be a little bit worse. Hitler. Hey Japan, could you be a doll and attack Stalin from the east so we can take Moscow? Japan. Actually, we just bombed Pearl Harbor instead. Hitler. You what? Yep. And then there was a retaliation. We might see a meme about that in the future of this video. Who knows? Me, I know. I've got hiccups. Uh-oh. I swear I always get hiccups when I record. The guy who invented constellations was like, see those 4 stars? That's a bear. And everyone else was just too busy trying not to die from the plague to fight him on it. I mean, there's some constellations that are questionable how people saw things. I'm like, how did you make up some really detailed image out of 3 stars? Like, at most I can see a triangle. I'm not big on constellations. I'm not a big constellation guy. Especially when people are like, I was born under this constellation, which therefore defines my entire personality and only allows me to be friends with certain people. It's like, really? You define that much of your life over some star positions, which, by the way, have shifted and aren't even accurate anymore. You do you, I'm just over here being an asparagus, but alright. Y'all ever notice that the Washington Monument looks absolutely nothing like George Washington? Yeah, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, what were they thinking? Imagine being described as capital of the world, but not even being capital of your own state. This meme was made by the Rome gang. Rome, the real capital of the world. How the fuck did Hitler get away with having a sidekick named Himmler? That's like Luigi and Waluigi tier BS. It really is. There's a 1-letter difference in there. And this is a little bit off topic of the history, but it follows on with this subject of I really dislike Waluigi, and Wario isn't much better, to be fair, but like, why is he so raved on about? Not only is he just the evil version of another character, they literally just put Wa at the front, which is short for like Warui, which means bad in Japanese. So he's literally just Luigi with bad at the front of his name, but he's not even the bad version of the number 1 character. He's the bad version of the number 2 character. That makes him like infinitely worse. Just saying. Native Americans. Can you just let us live on our own ancestral land that we own? America. Oklahoma is your home now. Poor Native Americans. I mean, at this point, if there are curses put on America by Native Americans, America really does deserve it. But let's not get into too much politics that isn't historical in this video, unless you count Trump as history, which, I mean, is pretty much history at this point, let's be honest. The guy that saw just a lonely plane reach Hiroshima. Stupid Americans, what damage could they possibly think to achieve with only 1 Oh no. I told you there was gonna be a meme about how America retaliated with Pearl Harbor. I told you. Shooting Teddy Roosevelt. He doesn't die. He refuses to go to a doctor. He gives his speech. He starts mocking your assassination attempt. That's like That's a Chad move right there. That's him, like, he's straight up flexing in this speech, talking about how he just survived getting shot and mocking the attempt. That's a Chad move right there. France calculating how much Germany should pay for the World War I war reparations. Yeah, and I mean, we learn a little bit about this in history, you know? One of the arguments is that those war reparations were the reason World War II happened, because, you know, Hitler was very angry about that, and that gave him a lot of fuel because he promised to fix the economy. Which is also why, after World War II, we paid Germany instead. England only finished paying off the World War II reparations to Germany like 20 years ago. But there hasn't been a World War III yet, so that's good. Let's hope that Trump doesn't change that before the end of his final term. Nazi officers who supposedly killed themselves seeing each other in Argentina. That would be the face you make though, wouldn't it? You'd be like, hang on, I know that guy. Let's hope he pretends he doesn't know me. And the final meme of the video, an actual historian explaining that France was good at war. Random guy who learns history from memes. I mean, you could argue that France were good at war, but also insert funny joke about surrendering and cheese. That's where I'm going to end the video today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon in the description below. By no means should you feel you have to. I'm going to keep making videos regardless. I also stream over at Twitch every Thursday and Saturday at 8 PM UK time. The weather has finally calmed down, so I finally have more energy for videos. So be sure to stick around on this channel and keep watching future videos. I'll have a little bit more energy for them now. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.